Guys, it's your girl Elle, and I am again coming to you live from the ATL. And welcome to GMA It Ain't Over. Today I come to you after a recent tragedy took place within my family circle. And you all may know that I am the mother of 3 sons. And over the years, my 3 sons have brought home several friends that ended up meshing with my family and pretty much becoming a part of my family. However, it is with overwhelming sorrow that we are left to mourn the loss of life, where one of the young men ended up fatally shooting the other. Guys, I love them both equally. And the families of both, and including mine, were left with hurting hearts and confused minds. And while our hearts will slowly heal as we lay to rest this beautiful young man, may his soul rest in heaven, and may he rest in heavenly peace. Amen. Of course, this is a fresh wound, and because I don't feel that I can convey this message the way that I would want to, as thoroughly as I would like, I'm going to be reading the notes that I wrote, and I will ask that you would be patient with me, because this is an extremely important message that I have to convey, and I just want to make sure that I don't leave out any of the things that I wanted to say. So, the title of today's episode is Grandparents, Take Your Grandchildren to Church. I'm appealing to the grandparents of the world because if you are a parent between the ages of 25 and 50, chances are your children have never seen the inside of a church, with the exception of attending a funeral or possibly a wedding. And we know that in most cases, today's people are choosing expensive venues over church today for weddings. But while funerals do take place in church, they are too often officiated by pastors who have never met the person whose funeral they are officiating. We are constantly hearing news of fatal shootings and loss of life at the hands of brothers and close friends or brothers of the same race. And while I am a believer in Christ who was raised in a Baptist church and later became a born-again Christian, my religion taught me to turn the other cheek. My religion taught me that love is the first and greatest command. My religion instilled in me that thou shalt not take the life of another. My religion supplies me with a set of values that promote forgiveness and understanding, and in the process helps me to create and generate peace as opposed to violence. My religion causes me to stand for something. My religion causes me to stand for something. So grandparents are a dying breed of people who stand for light versus darkness. This is the reason for my call to action from grandparents all over the world, and especially in my community. The children of 2023 place no value on their neighbors and love no one above themselves. Their principles and values are being nurtured and developed from the streets. Their mantra comes from the lyrics in the rap music they listen to, which supplies them with subliminal messages and descriptions on how to take a life and how to leave the mothers and the families of their victims mourning. This dog eat dog and trending mantra for lifestyle discriminates against no one, not even their brother. But my Bible, which is often referred to as the good book, provides me with a set of laws that are meant to protect me as well as my fellow man. And in times of trouble, I believe I can call on a higher power. The children of 2023 make no attempt to reconcile the differences between them and a fellow man. And their higher power has become the weapons they carry on their sides. They trust no man. Agree to disagree or turn the other cheek are words that are not a part of their vernacular, nor does it exist in their vocabulary. They have no standards or respect for elders, nor respect for authority. They have no thought for life, not even their own. Because when taking the life of another, they are oblivious to the fact that when one life ends, or when one ends a life, two are taken, because while your victim takes his last breath and rests in peace, you began a new life of turmoil where you will never rest in peace. In taking your brother's life, you are giving yours, in fact. And is that something that you really want to be doing, especially when you're considering that this is your enemy at the time? The children of 2023 have witnessed their parents go through struggles and somehow believe that our God must not exist, because if our God exists, then why should there be struggle? Why should we be struggling? They have never read a Bible and think of God much the same as Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny, who only brings toys and candy. Because they don't go to church, this is their concept of life, and that's all they know. Social media has become their reference for life, and whatever's trending is what they follow. Social media keeps their spirit filled with stories of violence, and unfortunately, love is not trending. As the messages portraying violence and bad behavior go viral, they spread the darkness that the perpetrators of evil possess. You will often see the same copycat behavior and crimes soon after the release of these videos, because information in the wrong hands is always detrimental to someone. And while millions upon millions upon millions will view and engage in posts of violent acts, they will subscribe, they will like, and they will share. Meanwhile, my message of peace and love and blessings will be lucky to get 100 views and possibly less. So grandparents, I implore you to spread our message of peace, as it is not serving us to allow the social media to the young folks. This information through technology tools supplies our youth with acts of violence and demonstrations of brainwashing, much like the Willie Lynch theory, which was written describing how to destroy the minds of our black men and our black families. This brainwashing leads our youth, our young black men, straight to the system that was designed to enslave them. As a mother of 3 males, I can name at least 30 to 50 close friends or friends of family who have served time in these same prison systems. Our children are not being equipped with the tools it takes to deal with the very same day-to-day stresses that you and I have survived. we have dealt with and we have survived. These children can command a remote to change the channel for them and to turn out the lights. Struggle stresses them out, and you will often hear them expressing anxiety attacks. I can personally name several families who has a household member that has totally disrupted the household. A member who has been diagnosed with mental disorders such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, post-traumatic syndrome, or a combination of all three. And so anger management destroys our already broken families. So grandparents are called to a higher purpose, and grandparent is a compound word, and the first half of the compound is grand. And so we should lead by example, because most of us are living on the other side of disobedience and can testify that the results of disobedience yields results that are undesirable. There are way too many other aspects that are put in place as it is, designed to destroy our race. Things like racism, police brutality, drug awareness, and car accidents, and more are already there and will inadvertently consume some of our lives. So let's not allow genocide to reign at the top of the list. Treat people the way you want to be treated. That is our mantra. Not always the way that they treat you. Sometimes you do have to turn the other cheek. And I say this to the children out there. Sometimes you have to have the courage to be different. And people stray away from God because they view him as a man sitting up there in the sky, just waiting to punish people on every turn. And they don't want to be confined, and they don't want to be restricted from anything that they feel is right for them. Our Bible is a set of laws that are much like traffic laws. And when you reach the stop sign or the red light or perhaps a caution light, should you refuse to obey it, you may possibly crash. But when you crash, you cannot blame the stop sign or the red light or the caution light, because it was put there for your protection from the crash. So grandparents, again, I implore you, take your grandchildren to church. Let us expose our future teenagers, and our young adults to a grander purpose in life. Additionally, I employ anyone who hears me, anyone who is in reach of the sound of my voice. Join me in the mission to take a child to church. And that is all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen, today. I really hope that someone gets something out of this video, out of my message. And I hope that it sticks, and I just want to start a whole movement. This Sunday passed by, but as long as we have breath in our lives, G-mothers, grandmothers of the world, grandparents, grandfathers, mothers, fathers, anyone out there who can hear me, I beg of you, accept this as a call to action and take a child to church, because I personally, as I say, I have sons ranging in age 30 to 53. And I personally have had to witness and mourn like too many lives, too many lives of young men who had potential to become just great, but lost the way, or somehow just got caught up in things. And so the devil is out there, and he seeks to devour whom he may. Our children need to be girded up. They need to have something. They need to stand for something. If they have nothing to think about, then the first thing they're going to think about for their protection, again, is the weapons that they have on their side. And so, I mean, as far as females these days, females are like strapping up just as hard as men, and it's just the world. Our world is in a sad state of affairs. Again, I just don't want to have to bury anybody too soon. We have that saying, a lot of people say, well, God knows best, and it was just his time, and God plucked him out, plucked the flower. We say a lot of things to console ourselves once these incidences happen, but my Bible teaches me that God is not the author of confusion, and so that a lot of these things are really not or were not meant to happen. And that's just my point of view. That's my vision, not my vision, but my point of view. That's just what I believe in. And so if you have comments, I welcome those comments. You may like, and you can subscribe, but in sharing this video, which is more important to me, then we're spreading the message that peace, love, and having some sort of thought for life. We need to take these children to church. We need to instill some values, and I know that grandparents out here, I've done a lot of things in my life, and I've done a lot of wrong things. I've done some good things and some bad things, but I know that I have a maker who does forgive me. And a lot of times these children don't even know that, and they do something and they assume that they're bad, and then they continue with the bad behavior until something just leads to something and things just spiral out of control. So again, I say, grandmothers of the world, push up, and let's push back. Let's push back some of this negative, dark spirit that plagues us in this world today. And I love you guys. As always, peace and blessings to you and your family. Enjoy the rest of your day. I love you.